Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08 and welcome to the 15th episode of my second 1 billion iron ingot challenge. In today's episode, I am going to start moving. That is because this base right here is too small for what I want to do. So, what I'm going to do first is actually what I've already done, is I've selected a new location for my home base, and it will be this large flat square in the desert over here. But before we actually go there, I want to do a few things. And the first thing I want to do is I want to take a snooze because it's dark outside. And then I'm going to make a means to transport or teleport over to that area. And the system will also be used to teleport back and forth between this base and the new base. And so let's get started on that. So I am going to be using RF tools and the matter transmitter and matter receivers. So I'm going to go ahead and build a couple of each of these machines. So let's get, I actually need 5 machine frames, I believe, because I need a dialing device as well. But I will need 2 matter transmitters, so let's get those, and then 2 matter receivers. And I would also like to grab 2 energy cells if I can. I think I actually have 2 of them already made, so let's grab these 2 right here. And then in addition, I need to make a dialing device, which allows me to connect up the different matter transmitters with matter receivers. So the dialing device is made like this. It's a pretty simple machine. I'm also going to grab some flux duct here because I'm going to connect up one of the energy cells, the one that's over here, to my energy system. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so where I'm going to put this stuff on this end anyways is right over here. And this will be a nice location because I can easily attach an energy cell right here. So let's just grab flux duct and we can just bada boom. And then we'll use the basic energy cell, excuse me, right here, and we'll put it like that. It'll be input from the bottom. It'll be output to the left, the top, and the front face. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a matter, let's see, hang on, I want to put the sand back. I'm going to put a matter transmitter here and then a matter receiver over here. In addition, I am going to, and this is just temporary, these 2 machines, or these 2 are temporary. I am just putting them down so that I can label them and then set a destination or 2. So first off, I need to plop down the dialing device. This will be the permanent home of the dialing device, and actually I want to spin this around to be facing like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to label these things. So this will be, I'm going to call this old home sender or old home send. We're going to call this old home rec. And then over here, we're going to call this new home send. And this one right here will be new home rec. Okay, so now what I can do is I can take this dialing device. You'll see all 4 of my machines here, all 4 of my matter transmitters and matter receivers. So what I can do is my old home sender, let's connect it to my old home receiver just to see if this works. What I should be able to do is pop in here and I will teleport right here. Secondly, let's go ahead and set the new home sender, which is over there, to teleport to the old home receiver, because that's actually what I'm going to need to do. And then let's go ahead and set this matter transmitter, which is the old home sender, to the new home receiver. So that's how everything is actually going to be connected up. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab these machines, and then I'm going to travel to my area where I plan to build my new home. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to travel over here. It is just east northeast, and I'm going to go ahead and travel off camera. Once I'm there, I will be back. And here is my new homeland. I don't know if you can tell, but I have flattened out a large chunk of area here, and it will be pretty easy anyways, to expand the area should I need to. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and claim these chunks. I'm going to go ahead and claim quite a few chunks right now, and this will be kind of my new homeland. So now that I have those claimed, I will left shift and then click and drag, and then I can have these chunk loaded as well. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and set up my matter transmitter and matter receiver. Now this will not be the permanent location of these machines, but for right now this will work pretty well, as I will need to get back and forth quite frequently between my new base and my old base. So let's go ahead and test this out. Fantastic, look at that, and I should be able to step on this and come over here. So that is pretty cool. Let's go back, and I actually want to grab quite a few things to get started over there. First off, I want to build my home building, so I'm actually going to build that out of iron blocks, just because I can. This is the 1 billion iron ingot challenge, so why not make my home out of iron? I mean, that makes sense, right? So let's grab a crap load of iron blocks, at least crap load for right now. You know what, let's do more than that. I feel like I'm going to need maybe a little bit more than that. I'm also going to grab some glass. I'm going to need more glass than that. So I need glass panes, not actual glass blocks. So let's try that much for right now. I'm also going to grab some stone. And I don't need too terribly large amount of stone, but you know what? I can get back and forth pretty easily, so that's not a problem if I don't grab enough. So let's head back and let's start the construction of this building. Now this building, which will be my home, will not actually have a basement, at least not at first. Most of my buildings that I built in this series will definitely have basements, but for right now, this first building is not going to have a basement. And that's kind of because in the past when I've made these buildings, I've hardly ever properly utilized my main home. Very often I do utilize the basement of it, but very infrequently do I actually build anything above. So this building is actually going to be pretty short. It's not going to have a basement. So yeah, it's going to be, I'm actually probably building it bigger than I really need it, but that's okay. It's not like I'm like short on iron ingots or anything, so I'm not too worried about making it a little bit bigger than it really needs to be. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 4 over here. So that is good there. And after I get this side plotted out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig down. And I'm going to replace all the sand with actual stone so that I have a nice floor. I know that in my old base I did not ever do this, but that's completely fine because, I mean, it was a temporary base. I knew it was always going to be a temporary base, so, you know, whatever. So we are almost done. And I should have grabbed a wand. And you know what? I'm going to go back and do that. So let's just throw that sand away. To make this easier, I think I am going to just go back and I'm going to grab a wand. So, I'll be back here when I have a builder's wand so that I can build this floor a little bit more quickly than I would be able to otherwise. So yeah, I'll be right back in a minute. Okay, I am back. I have my builder's wand with me, and quickly I want to lay this floor down because I also brought my bed and I want to plop that down on the floor and go to sleep because as you can see it is night and I don't want to deal with monsters over here, so let's get this cracking. I think my bed is going to be right here, so let's go ahead and lay that down as quickly as possible and then take a snooze. So now my respawn location will be over here. Obviously, like I said, this will be my new home, so I will be over here quite a lot. The next step of this build is to simply build up. This will not be a tall building at all. It will probably be 6 high, 5 or 6 high. I'm not exactly sure. But anyways, so the next, how I'm going to execute this step is I'm going to go around like this. I'm going to place iron and glass, and then, I can go ahead and do this off camera because this is going to be pretty boring, and this will take a few minutes. So once I have this building built up, and I'm going to go ahead and put a roof on it as well, which will be stone. Yeah, after this building is complete, I will be right back. And here is the finished product. This will be my home base for the probably rest of the series. Who knows? I could move it, but most likely that this will be the home for the rest of the series. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move these guys. I'm going to put them indoors so that when I teleport over here, I won't spawn outside and possibly get attacked by monsters. Obviously, that would be a bad thing. So let's go ahead and put the matter receiver here, the matter transmitter here, and then the energy cell right here. So that's pretty fantastic. And I'm not really sure why that is. Oh, I know it's full. My capacitor. Right here. That's why it's full. Okay, so this is pretty much my main building. I do want to hook up an applied energetics system to it today. So let's get working on that. First off, I am going to want to build a rather large applied energetics system. Whoa, what happened? What? 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 I'm really confused. Okay, so like, yeah, that was weird. Yeah. Never had that happen before. Never had an issue with the matter transmitters or receivers, but whatever. It's okay. Nothing's gone. No panic. So I want to make an applied energetics system next door. So let's start off with getting some of the things that I need. I am going to need some flux cable, it looks like. Actually, no. Let's start off with an ME, not chest. My goodness. ME drive. I'm forgetting what things are. So ME drive. I'm going to start out with, actually, I'm just going to bring these storage cells over with me, and I'm going to make new storage cells for this system right here. But before I do that, I need to actually make everything I need. So I need an ME terminal is the next thing I need. And I will make that into, actually, I should already have these, but let's go ahead and make more because I will probably need them. An ME terminal. Okay, so I don't have these guys. That's not a problem, though. I have plenty of things to make them. There we go. There's a few of them anyways. So an ME terminal. I'm going to eventually turn that into a pattern terminal. So let's make a crafting terminal next. So there we go. And then we need that to be a pattern terminal. And then I would also like to make an ME interface terminal. So let's see if we can't do that. We have not made an ME interface. It's pretty simple though. It's just glass and these formation and annihilation cores. So that's not hard at all. And then there we go, interface terminal. I also want to do some covered cable if I can. I don't think I have any wool though. You know what? I can't do covered cable. So let's just do the plain Jane flux cable. I might want to grab more than that. And I actually am about 95% sure I want to. So let's go ahead and do that. I have made quite a few flux crystals in between episodes. So I'm not really short on those. Okay, that's fine for right now. And then let's see, what else can we do? I will need a bunch of stones. So let's go ahead and make some 4K. You know what? So over here I have 4K storage cells and 16K storage cells. Let's go ahead and make a bunch of 16K storage cells. So I want to make 10 of them for over here for right now. So let's see if we can't do that. I'm not entirely sure if I have enough stuff or not, but we're sure gonna try. Okay, so I need 10 of these, which means I need 30 of these, which means I need 90 of these. So let's see here. How many Certus do I have? I do have enough processors for this. I'm just not sure if I have enough Certus. I might use charged Certus for some of these. But my rough math in my head says, ooh, I'll be just short of regular Certus. So there's 64. I need, what, 26 more? Okay, it went ahead and substituted in the charged Certus, which is fine by me. And then we need to make the 4K units next. So, okay, so there's 24 of those guys. What are we missing? I think we're missing some, what are we missing? Oh, the quartz glass. That shouldn't be too difficult. I definitely have enough stuff to make some quartz glass, so not a problem. Let's go ahead and make the 30, and then we should be able to make the 16K next. So let's punch that in and see if we can't do that. Okay, so what are we missing? Glowstone. Okay, so yeah, I've not been pulverizing this, but that's not a problem. I can go ahead and throw that in. So while that's pulverizing up, and that'll take a minute, I I'm just going to wait. So once some of that's pulverized up, I will be right back. Okay, I now have plenty of glowstone pulverized, so let's go ahead and make 10 of these guys, and then I want to convert those into 10 of the actual storage cells themselves. So let's go ahead and do that if we can. Fantastic. So once I take these storage cells out of this ME drive, I will replace them with these, because right now obviously this base is the only thing that's automatically making resources, so they still need somewhere to go. So that's why I made these storage cells right here. Before I actually go over there, I still need to do a few more things. I need to make some ME controllers, and I'm not exactly sure how many of these I need to make, but I do know it needs to be, let me do some quick math in my head. It's going to be a cube. It's going to be 7 by, it's probably going to be 7 by 7 by 7, but hollow. So it'll be, yeah, I don't know. Let's do 50. Actually, let's just do a stack, because, you know, whatever. I think that's going to be more than enough. If it's not, you know what? I'm kind of thinking it's not now. So let's look at how many processors I have. I do have a decent amount of processors. Let's go ahead and make that many more, because apparently I'm out of fluix crystals. That's not a problem. If I need to make more, I can make more in the future. One last thing I would like to grab. I would like to grab an energy acceptor and actually two last things, I guess, and an energy cell of some sort. So let's make another energy cell, and let's actually type it out. And this energy acceptor, like I said, I'm going to grab that. And then energy cell. There's the frame. There's the actual cell itself. I also want to go ahead and upgrade this thing a few times. So let's upgrade this with a bronze or a Invar upgrade kit, I guess, and then let's go ahead and do reinforced if we can. Silver gear is pretty cheap. Can I go ahead and do signalum as well? It looks like I will be able to. Sweet. So let's upgrade this thing all the way to signalum. And where we're at it, I want to also charge it. So I'm just going to dive down here and obviously completely temporarily put this thing right here. And I want this thing to charge up because for the time being, it's going to be the only energy source for my ME system next door or in my new base. Obviously, I'm going to build some sort of energy generation for that system shortly. But for the purposes of today's episode, I'm just going to use an energy cell just to make sure the thing's working. So I want this thing to charge up a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait on this thing to charge up. I don't know, maybe halfway, give or take. And once that's where I want it to be, I will be right back. And I'm back. I have the energy cell charged up to 12.34 million RF. I got impatient. It should be enough for right now though, so let's head on over and let's install this temporary apparatus. Now obviously part of this will not be temporary, the ME drive and the terminals, which I have right here. That part of the system won't be temporary, but the rest of it probably will be. So let's go ahead and down here is going to be energy acceptor for right now. That will change in the future. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and put the energy cell right here. And on the face, I'll be output. We're going to do redstone control high. So it needs a redstone signal to be able to run. Up top, we will put our lever. And then we'll put our energy acceptor right here. And then we can run a single cable. And then we can do the ME drive with 2 cables for the pattern terminal will be right here. Oh, whoops. Whoops, that's not how that's supposed to be. So let's try this again. The pattern terminal will be right here, and then the interface terminal will be right there. And I totally forgot to grab the other cells because I wanted to swap those out. Let's just run back and do that real fast. So let's get these. Let's swap them out for those. So now all of my stuff, at least for right now, will be over here. So let's go ahead and punch these things in. And then turn this on. And hopefully this will come to life and we'll see our stuff. Cool. And I want to sort this by number of items, and clearly we can see that my stuff is here. So it's obviously fantastic. The next thing I want to do is I want to grab a bunch of stone. So let me do that real fast. At least most of it should be over here. I probably don't need any more than that, at least not for right now. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out where I'm going to have some streets. I always build streets with tunnels underneath them because it's really, really useful for any kind of like ductwork you might need under the road. So I'm going to have an intersection right here. And I didn't quite do that how I wanted to, but that's okay. And I must say this flex board is going to be fantastic for this, because once I get to where it's partially sandstone and partially sand, it's super useful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig this out, and this won't take but just a second unless there's some sort of hiccup. And then I'm going to lay a street over top, and then I'm going to put down the ME controller where I want it. Now the ME controller will be a permanent part of this system, and it will be, it'll be connected to a lot of stuff when all is said and done. I can say that for a fact. So let's actually get rid of this. Actually, let's also go 5 this direction. 2, is that 5? That's 5. Because this is going to be kind of the primary intersection of my base. And right now I don't have anything to make elevators with. Normally I use the open blocks elevators, and I will use those eventually, but right now I don't have wool. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm just simply going to have a hole in my street, which is obviously not super ideal, but it'll work, whatever. I'm not too worried about it. I can fly, so whatever. So let's go ahead and get my handy dandy wand, because I'm going to need that. And then the street will just be kind of like this. And I just realized I don't actually need that to have a hole down here. I just need it to have a hole in the top side. And we're almost there. There we go. And then this side will actually be really easy. We just need to do that. And then, like I said, I want to punch a hole in the middle here. I think that's the middle anyways. Cool. We'll also put a torch down. We'll need to put lots of torches down here, but that's something I can get to in a moment. So that's where my street's going to be. I'll have some torches down here. I'm not going to put those in quite yet, because right now I want to focus on building the ME controller. And the ME controller is going to be a rather a decently sized structure anyways, not super large or anything, but it will be in a cube-like shape. And actually, I think I'm going to get rid of the middle blocks. So I'm going to get rid of this block right here, this block right here, and then this block right here. Okay, let's switch this to single block mode, just to make this quicker. And then I'll drop these down. And then down here, I will connect them up. So I believe that this structure is just about as big as you can make a controller. Now, you don't have to have the hollow spots in it like I'm doing, but I find it pretty convenient to have. But your mileage may vary. Okay, so I think that's all one structure now, which is ideal, at least for my taste. So what I'm going to do is I actually need to connect the controller to my ME drive and stuff over here. So that shouldn't be too difficult because one corner of it should be right under here. So let's actually dig this out real fast. Yes. So what's the easiest way to do this? For right now, I'm going to use just this ME cable. In the future, I will use something that I can put a facade over, but that should be fine for right now. Let's go ahead and turn the battery or the energy cell on, and if this lights up down here, we are good to go. It looks like everything is good. Fantastic. So the next thing I just need to do is I'm just going to cover this up, and then I think I'm going to call it good for today. I have a few more things I would like to do, obviously, to this system, but for right now I think it's good to go. Obviously, it's functioning to some degree. It's not super useful right now because there's nothing really attached to it, but whatever. It'll be pretty useful pretty soon. So anyways, in today's episode, I built this new building in what will be my new base. It is pretty small for right now, but the base itself is going to be rather large pretty soon probably, because I will be working on this base quite a bit. So I also built this applied energistic system to go with it. It is just the bare bones for right now, but in the future it will be a sprawling system that will connect up many different machines and allow me to do lots of stuff automatically. So anyways, if you liked today's episode, definitely give it a like. If you like seeing automation in modern Minecraft, definitely consider subscribing to my channel because that's kind of what I do. Anyways, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.